ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sleeper Hold, where there are no disqualifications on the topics and falls count anywhere. Joining us, as always, is...
Whoa. I'm not even gone yet, and you want to take over?
Hold on.
Oh, okay. I mean, granted, yes, I made my announcement, but I still have the show, you know? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sleeper Hold, where there are no disqualifications on the topics and falls count anywhere. I am your host, Priest. And accompanying me, as always, are my three cohorts. First off, the analyst, Rob Leach.
Yeah.
The insider, Eric Zeidler. And the Kluganator.
Yo.
See, that's how you do it. We're going to get you there.
I did it. I was going to do it. You didn't see how I was going to do it. You interrupted.
Well, you were trying to make sure trying to kick me out early. Granted,
I was not trying to kick you out. You just weren't in position.
Unlike, what I said last week, unfortunately, this is going to be my last episode here. But I do have a special gift for you guys that we're going to have next week that Kluganator will have to show for you guys. And it's basically going to be my little memory lane type moment of giving some good laughs, some good memories, especially with people like Rob here, who seems to be a little bit of a sour grape. So, before we get to Mr. Bitter over here, why don't you talk about this weekend? Because there was an incredible show from what I hear.
This past weekend was Pro Wrestling Force at the 8th Street Gym in Springfield. Mm-hmm. It was a fantastic show. I actually forgot a lot of what happened. It was a very busy day.
Yeah, from what I understand, you guys were there for quite some time, and there was a lot that went down.
They were there for quite some time. I was there for as long.
Fair enough.
Yeah, somebody skipped out early on the cleanup.
Skipped out early. I had to get people home. Anyway,
that's the excuse. Okay,
that's not an excuse. It's the truth. But no, so it was a fantastic show. I can definitely tell you that. The second show will be February 17th at Boondocks right here in Springfield.
Right on.
Let's take a look real quick at some of the results.
I like the have results because from what I was told by all three of you, they really delivered an excellent show.
A very amazing show. Anyway, your first match we saw 6-man tag Corey Roberts, Austin Hayes, and Nick King defeated James Brady, Riley McGuire, and Harrison C. Comer. It was a great opening 6-man tag team match. It was a fantastic showcase of 6 of Michael Elgin's trainees from the Burning Spirit Dojo.
Nice.
Your next match was a first-round match in the Pure Wrestling Championship Tournament, as Aaron Williams defeated Jake Oman. Next up in a first-round match of that same tournament, Ace Perry defeated Stephen Wolf.
Okay.
Women's action, Sophie King defeated Sei Sheen by submission.
I'm always a fan of submission being the winning thing there. I mean, if the show's name doesn't tell you that.
Definitely. And it wasn't a tap-out, though. She passed out.
Oh, snap.
Sei Sheen went to sleep. So, just so we know, shows the resilient fighting spirit
Absolutely.
of Sei Sheen. Lotus, which is Jun Tai and Gavin Quinn, defeated the top guys, Kevin Giza and Adam Slade. Okay. Afterward, Matt Kenway and one of his little buddies came out and said, "Hey, listen up. I'm not even on the show. Why? I don't know. But I put myself on the show now. So, what do you guys want to do? You just lost your tag team match." And Adam Slade tried to kind of put it on Kevin Giza. But I think it was more Adam Slade's fault. Then, Kevin Giza, Matt Kenway, and whoever Matt Kenway's little buddy was, attacked Adam Slade. The top guys are no more.
Oh, man.
I've seen the top guys.
So they're no longer on top. They're just guys.
Well, there's a guy, and then there's a guy that thinks he's the top guy because he beat the not top guy. Something like that.
You keep talking like that, you're going to confuse people.
Like I don't already?
Hey, I have to give you somewhat of a hard time. And like I said, this is my last show.
Of course.
Well, you're still going to make periodic.
Yeah, but I mean, as the official show running host and all that.
Right.
Anyway, next up, we had, in my eyes, the match of the night. 6-way Lucha Rules Scramble, one fall to the finish.
Yeah, did you find out how those rules work?
I said that a tag wasn't necessary to be legal.
Uh-huh.
I guess that's just something that I said to make sure people knew it wasn't a tag team match.
Okay.
Every man for himself, everyone's legal at the same time, everyone does whatever the hell they want. Until there's one fall.
So it was
pretty much just it's pretty much a tornado chaos.
Yes.
Okay.
With a whole bunch of lucha guys in it.
Hey, that's, whatever works.
But Jake Parnell defeated Bandolero, Paco Gonzalez, Golden Dragon, Gringo Loco, and Orion Creed.
Okay.
Next up, the pre-main event. Myron Reed defeated Matt Fitchett in a showcase match. Just an exhibition.
Alright.
And then the main event. The winning team in this tag team match would go on to round 2 of the Pure Wrestling Championship tournament. Last minute, Michael Elgin hurt his knee. He came in using a crutch.
Yeah, he injured himself the night before in a match.
Yeah, I heard about that. That stinks.
I asked him what happened. He said, well, hurt my knee last night in Canada, and I'm not going to be able to wrestle. I said, well, do you have a replacement? He said, yeah. I said, who's that? The Zombie Princess Jimmy Jacobs.
Hey, I remember you mentioned him last time. How was it?
It was fantastic. Jimmy Jacobs teamed up with Juice Robinson, the former NXT superstar and former IWGP United States champion. And they were defeated by Logan James and Jake Lander.
Nice.
It was a great show. And now we can only look forward to round 2 at Boondocks right here in Springfield, February 17th.
That sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Definitely.
Any other local news you got for us, Mr. Analyst? I mean, you're usually one person.
January 5th is PWA.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's
Blood,
bring it on.
Sweat, and Tears. The 8th Street Gym, 1401 North 8th Street in Springfield, Illinois. Those are $12. Kids 6 to 12 are $10. Kids 5 and under are always free. It's going to be a lot of fun. Doors open 6:30 p.m. Show starts 7 o'clock. I can tell you, Attitude Inc. defends the Tag Team Championship. I mentioned this last week. Attitude Inc. will defend the Tag Team Championship against the odd yet threatening team of the Powder Keg Jimmy Carrot and Truck Thompson.
Nice.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Other appearing names, Sweet Street, IJ Sweet and Johnny Kincaid will be in the house. I'm sure Handsome Dan Liplock will be there. Harley will be there, I can tell you. Sierra as well. Brian Ely. And, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Casey Jackson as well. Tom Arson.
It's definitely one I'm looking forward to checking out. I mean, like I've said before, with a lot of these local talents, and I mean, PWA definitely is no exception. They give their heart, they give their soul, and they've never really caused any disappointment. I've always been happy to see these local talent do what they do best and amaze and make the fans very happy.
Indeed.
I was waiting for somebody to go there.
I didn't want to do it.
Oh, fair enough. Now, Eric, I heard you got a little bit of inside scoop for us.
The insider, Eric Zyber.
See,
they New Japan Pro Wrestling announced the full card for their upcoming show on January the 4th which here would be probably 2 o'clock in the morning. I'll be up for that, by the way.
I know you will.
And then go pull a whole day at work.
Yeah.
Actually, no, hold on. That's a Saturday morning, so no, I actually get to sleep in after that.
Oh, there you go, man.
Must be nice. I have to
Until
work
PWA.
Saturdays right now.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you do have PWA.
But I can still get some sleep before PWA. Anyway, in years past with Wrestle Kingdom shows, their pre-show has always been the New Japan Rumble. Well, this year, they're starting it with a never open weight trios number 1 contendership gauntlet match.
Okay.
Now, back to something that Rob covered earlier. One of the teams was supposed to be Jeff Cobb, Michael Elgin, and I forget who the third head was, but who are they going to get to replace Mr. Elgin? Let's wait and see.
Well,
first match for the never open weight singles title, you'll see Kota Ibushi taking on Will Ospreay. For the IWGP Junior Tag Team Championship, there's a three-way match representing Suzuki-gun, the champions Kanemaru and Desperado.
Okay.
As they take on Roppongi 3K and Bushi and Shingo representing Los Ingobernables de Japón.
Man, you did that fluently.
I've heard enough New Japan to get it right.
I'd say when it comes to something like that, I'd probably be stumbling over my words.
They are also defend up for grabs as the Rev Pro British Heavyweight Championship. And that match is going to be Tomohiro Ishii taking on Zack Sabre Jr.
Nice.
The IWGP United States Championship is also on the line as Juice Robinson is taking on the champ, Cody.
Cody defeated Juice Robinson for that title, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, there we go. A little bit of revenge coming in.
The special singles match, one of the only non-title match on this card, is Okada is taking on Switchblade Jay White. Because, he was a pretty big part of Chaos, and he turned on his Chaos brothers to become a part of the Bullet Club. One part of the double main event for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship, you have Tetsuya Naito taking on Chris Jericho.
And I look forward to hearing about that, and even if I can find a way to sneak a little watch on that one, because I've always been a Jerichoholic, even back in the WCW days.
If you get up probably about 6 in the morning, you might catch that match. In the other half of the double main event for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, the winner of the 2018 G1 Climax Tournament, Hiroshi Tanahashi, will be taking on the champion, Kenny the Cleaner Omega.
That's another good competitor right there. I've seen some of Kenny's work, and he delivers. So, yes, sounds like it's going to be exciting.
And just one little final piece before I end my portion. It was announced that the members of the Elite, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Marty Scurll, and Cody will not be participating during WrestleMania weekend at the G1 Supercard show. What their plans are going to be for that weekend, nobody knows, but they have announced that they will not be at that show.
A lot of people are going to go crazy and probably think they're going to be at WrestleMania, but no.
I don't know. There's been talk of Cody.
I think they have much better plans.
Well, could be.
Yeah, I've heard some rumbles, but you never know. A lot of people didn't think after the Hardy Boys, they did their thing with Ring of Honor, they never suspected that.
Yeah.
They would be back with the WWE, but then they made their return at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So
didn't they wrestle the night before WrestleMania too?
Yeah.
Yes, they did. Actually, they defended the Ring of Honor tag team titles against the Young Bucks in a ladder match.
That's what I'm saying. I would not be surprised with Cody, at least. I mean, the rest of them, who knows, but definitely with Cody.
Nah, if I was a betting man, if anybody was showing up, I bet it would be probably Kenny Omega.
Oh, you think so, huh?
Yeah, they do have a lot of back and forth between him and Xavier Woods,
That's true. It's just, I've heard talks, things I've read online that, WWE has been trying to kind of put a bug back in Cody's ear, and it's been one of those, Cody really hasn't said much on what they've been offering
Come
or
back.
saying.
We won't make you be Stardust again.
Pretty much, is it? They've seen how the serious Cody Rhodes, he should have been long ago, is a lot better.
And we'll let your wife wrestle, too.
And I want to point out, I loved his costume for Final Battle. This past Friday night's Ring of Honor show. Cody and Brandy Rhodes came out dressed up like Solid Snake and Boss from Metal Gear Solid.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah, he came out with the headband and the eye patch, and she came out dressed like Boss, so it was pretty awesome.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens, but definitely stuff like that, talks like that, whether you want to realize or not, definitely do make you go, maybe this is going to be another shocking WrestleMania that I need to keep a close eye on.
Well, you know.
And honestly, I could see, going with what you said about Omega possibly looking into doing that, because who's still tied to the WWE that Omega had a good feud with? Y2J. They could try to bring that over. But that's also like the fact that for the longest time we wanted to see the Nakamura AJ feud that they had in New Japan, and they really kind of shat on that.
Shat on it, set it on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they would have given it the same beautiful justice that New Japan gave it, the fans would have loved it a lot more than what they did. It was just not properly executed, in my opinion.
It was a great match. I was fortunate enough to be able to see the WrestleMania match in person, so it was a pretty good match. It was definitely better than Reigns and Lesnar.
Anything's better than Reigns and Lesnar.
Anything's better than Lesnar.
I stayed for that match long enough to watch the entrances, then I walked out.
I'm sorry, but when you have big guy, little to no neck, who also when he screams sounds like Mickey Mouse, who's got his stuff in a vice. I'm gonna kill you! Whatever, dude. I'm gonna kill you! I still think that was my favorite thing. Only because of Undertaker's report, you're gonna have to. It's like, okay, that made me actually interested. Only that part made me interested. But I digress. We are going towards the WWE, so let's go ahead and talk about TLC a little bit, because TLC had good and bad in it. I mean,
ups and downs.
Yeah, I mean,
literally.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed the table match with Natty because that was, obviously Natty is one of my favorites, but it's because they're finally giving her back some momentum that she deserves as a veteran and everything else. Because I've noticed that what they do with the veterans is once they get to a certain point in their career, they're just stepping stones. And then you forget how great they really are because you're seeing them get beaten and beaten and beaten by all the newer generation. It's like, no, give her some credit because she's done a lot for this company. Her family has done a lot for this company. And to see them not only do that at TLC, but the following night was great. And so it's like, okay, they're giving some respect. I appreciate that. Honestly, speaking with the women, I loved seeing Ronda's match. It was done very well, I think. I think it would have been better, though, if they would have had Tamina more involved. I don't know what you guys think about that, but if they're going to have her at ringside, let her be a little bit more involved.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I'd like to have seen her get a little bit more involved.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't even watch TLC. After it was over, I sat on the couch and just skimmed through it enough to see the results.
Fair enough. But I mean, it was a pretty good one. I mean, granted, and Eric was so proud that he called this one. The SmackDown Women's Championship. It was pretty good, but I still don't know if I'm happy with the fact that Asuka won. I get where they're going with it now, but I still wish Becky would have kept it because Becky made one hell of a heel.
I don't care how ready you are for Asuka. I just want her off my TV.
I love it.
I've never been a fan of Asuka, so.
I was actually very surprised that I was like, because I mentioned to you guys man, it'd be cool if Asuka won. And
and I'm sitting there like, no.
Yes!
I was like, it's gonna be Becky, and Kluge over here is like, yeah, I think Charlotte might get it, and I'm like, no. They're gonna let Becky keep it because with her being a heel, she's got
Becky to keep it.
What, I thought you said that you thought. Oh, it must be your wife that was saying about Charlotte. Somebody said Charlotte, and I was like, no,
Well, it wasn't me.
because I was like, Becky's gotten so much great momentum being a heel now.
Yeah.
Why would you take that away from her? And the best heels are the ones who hold the title. Because then they have a reason to be an arrogant snob, and they rub it in everybody's face by using the belt and using dirty tactics. So, I mean,
Speaking of the Intercontinental title,
I was about to say, going on the part of dirty, let's talk about that IC match. The only thing I hated about that IC match is that it was not a stipulation match. I mean, I was seriously hoping that we were going to have 2 TLC matches like they've done in the past, one for the men, one for the women, but they didn't go that route, because I think that would have been a perfect ladder match at least. But those two gave a good match.
Yeah.
They really did.
Is it true that the crowd was saying that match was boring?
I don't think so.
I didn't hear it.
I didn't
heard
catch
something
that.
about
I think I heard it back on the replay.
I heard something about the crowd was chanting, "This match is boring."
They might have. I was too busy getting humored by the whole thing. Because I'm like, especially in the part where Dean Ambrose is trying to backpedal and is like, come on, we're buddies, right?
And I'm digging the whole kind of nod to Bane with
Yes.
Ambrose's attire now.
I'm enjoying the whole, just, I don't know how to put it. He's calling it like it is, and he's doing a great job at it. Basically saying, "Hey, this is what Seth's going to do. He's going to slip up. He's going to do this wrong. He's going to do that wrong." And he was right on the money with it, and it was pretty freaking awesome to see it happen. Honestly, so I'm kind of glad to see that happen because you don't usually see them call it like that and be successful.
Yeah, I mean,
and it was good.
I love heel Dean Ambrose, but I hate the damn jacket he wears. Looks like he got it at a female store.
Do you have a problem with female jackets?
No, I have a problem with Dean Ambrose wearing his wife's jacket.
Ooh, shots fired yet again. You got a lot of shots fired earlier before the show.
You could see Renee Young wearing that jacket.
Speaking of Renee Young, did you notice that she actually acknowledged Dean was her husband?
Yes, she did. And it's one of those that they've hinted at and they've kind of teased it, insinuated it, and everything else throughout the weeks. But this is the first time that she openly admitted since his return. And like I said, the only other time it was really brought up before was when The Miz and Dean were having a feud. Right. Because The Miz would make jabs at Renee, being the interviewer, like, I don't know, you're the one sleeping with him, or whatever. And then she slapped him. I'm sorry, I so badly wanted a Dean Ambrose and Renee Young versus Miz and Maurice.
Yeah.
At that time, because I wanted to see
Instead
Renee.
we got Cena.
Yeah, I was like, I wanted to see Renee go all out against Maurice personally, but it didn't happen.
Well, Renee just probably doesn't have that training yet.
Still, she could at least do a good slap. I mean, we saw that. But anyway, I digress. There was a lot more that happened there. It was still a great show. I'm trying to think what I really thought was another major highlight, and that's the hard part. Is there's some high points and there's a lot of low points.
What about Brian and AJ?
Daniel and AJ, I don't know. I wasn't really too big on that. I know other people liked it, and I mean, if you have something to say about it, go for it. I personally wasn't too impressed. I like the fact that Daniel's staying heel. Yeah. I like the heel Daniel. But I don't know. I think it's because I'm so burned out of AJ Styles. They shoved him down our throats so much.
They finally gave us a new champion at least.
Yeah, I will say that. You're right. Let's talk about the humorous part of the whole show. The comic relief of the show that actually we all were hoping for. And that's Braun Strowman's match.
Wasn't that the very first match?
Yes. Corbin comes out, bragging and everything else. Because there's a no disqualification match, and no, Strowman's not going to be here.
No, this was a match where there's supposed to be no countouts, no holds barred,
yeah,
no disqualification. But he started the match by having Strowman counted out.
Oh yeah. There is a little bit of a problem there. I forgot that little key.
No disqualifications.
I forgot that little side
this
detail.
Is no
there.
disqualifications. No countouts. I can do whatever I want to you, Strowman. Slater, count him out.
I forgot about that. That's true. But the funny part, though, is not only that, but then all these people who Corbin has given the screw job to came out and just mauled him so much. Even Slater got involved To where the point at the end, only thing Strowman had to do, sling in, arm in a sling and everything else, come out, step on him, and get the freak out pretty much. Never having to lift a single finger.
Well, yeah, because he's still got to have that match with Lesnar.
Yeah.
They got to get the title off of Lesnar somehow.
But I'm just sitting here going, that was probably the most comic relief, but perfectly justice delivered type of match. I loved it.
Rob, are we really ready for Braun as the champ?
I'm ready for Brock Lesnar as not the champ.
I think we're all ready for Lesnar as not the champ.
I want to actually see this title be defended.
I am okay with Strowman being the champ because that key thing, he will defend it on a regular. And he will make it also very interesting because Strowman has shown us that not only can he play a good heel, but he can play a good face. And he knows how to mess with people and joke around. And the fans eat it all up no matter what. Even when he was a heel now, when he's done his heel turns, the people still yelling out, get these hands, get these hands. He's got momentum no matter what he does. He is their golden nugget right now.
I'm not a nugget. I'm a Blackheart.
I remember. I remember that so well. Thank you.
I just seen it last night.
Good old memory lane. But there was a lot of pretty good stuff in the whole TLC. I'm trying to remember who had the chairs match though.
Orton and Mysterio.
That's right.
Orton
yes.
Mysterio, yeah.
It was pretty interesting. But we all kind of knew Mysterio was probably going to take it. So I'm not too surprised there. I just wish they would have made a bit more use of the chairs than what they did, but I also think it would have been more intense if they would actually been trying to get the mask off again, because of the whole lucha. It would honestly would have been even more ideal, in my opinion. Have him working on getting that mask off. He takes it off, and underneath there's another mask. Almost as like Rey Mysterio going, ha ha. That would have been kind of comical, but also one of those things if he got the upper hand on Orton, because Orton was too focused on one thing and didn't think about any contingencies. So that's just my thoughts. But I digress. I'm stealing Pickett's lines way too much. I need to stop that. That's okay. This is my last show, isn't it?
I digress.
Yeah.
Last regular show.
Yeah, at least. But let's talk about what happened next, because the whole time during the show, the TLC, and even afterwards, Vince is coming back on Monday and he's going to shake things up. He didn't really shake too much up, in my opinion. The only thing he did was say, you know what? We should have been here this whole time. We should have been front running instead of letting other people do our job. We're going to be here. We're going to do our job. Stephanie agreed. Triple H is like, well, basically, we're going to give you what you want. So you guys are truly running the show, not us.
So basically, they're actually going to step out of the back area and do something.
For once, yeah.
So basically, everything they did 4 years ago as the Authority is completely nullified.
Yeah,
now.
people apparently don't care anymore. They forget about it. But whatever.
And the thing is, Stephanie, who made Baron Corbin the general
and
manager,
everybody forgets about that. Yeah.
And she's just
Water
like, oh,
under the bridge.
You know what, Corbin? Go screw yourself.
I thought it was
and now
kind of
Paige
funny.
is out of a job again, but they say she's going to stay with the company.
Shane said, he said she's still going to be on SmackDown, just the role has changed.
I still find it funny that, not only that, but the fact that during the whole thing with the opening of Raw and when Corbin came out, the booing was going on for so long, it was even after commercial break. That's just, I love stuff like that.
I have a couple things I want to point out with Raw. One thing we are getting with this shaking things up, we're getting NXT call-ups.
We are.
We're getting Nikki Cross.
That's one thing I'm excited about is Nikki Cross, because
we're getting
one crazy chick.
We're getting like 4 at one time. Yeah.
Nikki Cross. We're getting Heavy Machinery.
Yep.
Lacey Evans.
That's going to be an interesting
And the one I'm most interested to see how he does.
That's right.
EC3.
You also forgot Lars Sullivan.
Oh, yeah. Well, they've been
Everyone forgets Lars Sullivan.
I personally don't care about Lars.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to explain it.
It's like what they try to do is they go, okay, we're going to make this new gimmick. What if you put Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman, and some other scary intimidating force, maybe like Big Show, and put them in a blender? What do we get? Let's make this guy be that.
I'm looking at alright,
A
so
lot of nuts.
I can see Triple H backstage, you know. Alright, so I want something like the main roster has, so we're not straying too far from WWE. Alright, let's go Lesnar, Big Show, and add some nostalgia, Brian Pillman.
There you go.
There you go.
I would think more Strowman than
Pillman.
not Pillman, but Big Show on that, honestly, because he seems to be trying to do that. I'm scarier than a monster. I'm scarier than a beast. So I mean, he called them out flat out. I like the Pillman thing because I do see a touch of Pillman in there.
I only said Big Show because Big Show's bald.
What are you talking about?
Now, are we talking flying Pillman or crazy Pillman?
I'm going with Crazy Pillman.
Crazy Pillman.
Because I'm sorry, but everybody remembers Crazy Pillman. If they remember those day and days.
Especially the time when he pulled out that gun on Stone Cold.
That caused so much controversy.
There's actually an interview on YouTube that with Brian Pillman Jr. and he tells the story about that night.
Uh-huh.
It's totally a different way of looking at it.
I'm going to have to check that out. That's going to be worth looking at.
But here's another thing to think about, too. For Paige, what's coming up? What's getting ready to be released?
Oh, her movie.
Makes perfect sense to, kind of take her out of the general manager's role so she can go and promote this movie.
That's a good point.
That's basically about her family.
It is. About her family and her coming up through the WWE. You got a very good point.
And I've seen the actual original documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
Okay. Yep. You got that going there. I do have to say, with the whole shaking things up, besides seeing Corbin once again get the screws to him, which we kind of touched base on, there really wasn't too much shaking up, in my opinion. It wasn't too much of like a holy crap, they're really driving back to the Attitude Area like we all were hoping they would do eventually, or holy crap, they really made a left turn that I didn't expect. Most of the stuff I could predict.
Or holy crap, we've drafted everyone again, and
yeah, we've done a draft here and we're swapping brands. No, that didn't happen either. Which I'm sure that's coming soon, but not yet.
I do feel like
after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I do feel like it's one of the better episodes of Raw in a while.
It is, and
compared to the last 3 weeks, yeah.
But that's just it. Is you knew it was going to be at least better than that because the fact that Vince even openly admitted to reporters that he knows that they had the worst 3 weeks ever in ratings for Raw.
I mean, hell, SmackDown's ratings this week.
Ever.
SmackDown's ratings this week went up 10% from last week.
Yeah.
And I'm mad because I have been doing so well not watching Raw. Watching the Attitude Era Raws, that's where I came up with the whole reference to back to Owen Hart. Yeah. All that work down the toilet.
Well, you could still watch them.
But now I gotta start over again.
No, I'm saying you can still watch them while keeping up with the current Raw too. Just whatever the days, just pop one episode or 2 episodes.
Enjoying,
Well, just throwing it out there. But I mean, okay, the only other thing that was, at least in my opinion, noteworthy for Raw, I did like the fact that Stephanie was like, "All right, all these women want a piece of you, Rhonda. We're going to do a gauntlet match, and whoever gets that goes against you next week." And I'm not saying that just because Natty won, but it was a smart move because we actually got to see some performers step up way better than they have. I mean, I was impressed that Dana Brooke was back to form like she used to be. I mean, Dana Brooke was originally a very good contender, and they kind of just threw her off to the side as I'm going to be a stats person. Do you even have any degree with any of that? It made her a joke. So it's nice to see that they're giving her another move towards the right direction.
And, this whole shaking things up really could benefit a lot of the people that really haven't gotten much of a...
I'm hoping for that.
That hasn't had much of a fire lit up under them,
and I'm hoping for that too.
Finn Balor, guys like Ty Dillinger,
guys like Tyler Breeze.
I mean, people who definitely
Tyler Breeze.
Yeah, Breeze. I mean, Breeze had a good match against Ambrose, for crying out loud.
Breeze had an even better match against Ricochet on NXT.
Yeah. But that's my point. Is that this you got a point. It's got a good chance to bring these guys back into the spotlight that deserve it. I mean, I don't know anybody else who's been ranting and raving about like I did for a while there about Balor. I mean, it's not just because I'm a fan of Balor, but Balor had gotten the Universal Championship and had to relinquish it, and they'd never given him a fair shot ever since then. This is a good golden opportunity. And what could be even better is if he does get it from the Beast, Strowman that is, what better than Balor Strowman, because they've been buddies before. Behind the scenes, Balor basically mentored Strowman a few times during the NXT days. There's a good thing right there that could be really interesting to see.
And here's something too. I can't believe we didn't touch on it. We also got vignettes for actual return vignettes.
KO and Sammy, yeah.
How long has it been since we actually seen a return vignette?
That is true. That is very true. My thing is, they need to bring them back, but bring them back separate.
Yeah, I would agree. Don't put them together like they were.
I mean, it was working for a little while, but then it just got stale way too fast. Let Sammy be heel, but let him be a heel on one brand while Kevin is Kevin on another brand. And what I mean by Kevin being Kevin is I think we can all agree that Kevin Owens plays best when he is unhinged and like a nut job, just ballistic and chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
Where you let
or
him
when
just...
he's running from Strowman.
Okay, those were good times. Those were good times. I will agree with that.
I want to see Ring of Honor's Kevin Owens.
You know, and that would be a good one too. It really would.
Because his matches against El Generico and not even Nakamura, were things of legend.
You know, I mean, so we'll see how that goes there. You know, my thing. Okay, I didn't really remember if they advertised this or not, so I'm going to ask this now because my brain has been scatterbrained this whole week. They are doing something on Monday, I know that, but I'm assuming they're taking Tuesday off for SmackDown.
Well,
on Monday, they pre-recorded next week's Raw on Monday after all,
and then
same with SmackDown.
Yeah, same thing with SmackDown. So
okay,
they are
fair deal. They're going to be there, but they're not live. They're just pre-recorded. Okay.
Yeah.
So SmackDown Live will actually be SmackDown?
Yeah.
For 1 week?
It will be
God!
SmackDown not live.
SmackDown not
Raw and SmackDown, they're going back to the days of the
Monday
Night Wars.
The early days of the Monday Night Wars.
Back to the days where they recorded 2 episodes of Raw per week.
And then right before Monday Night Raw airs, we're going to have a, hello, my name is Eric Bischoff, and I'm going to tell you what you're about to watch.
But here's the sad thing.
Here on TNA or something.
Right. That would be great.
Here's something that I had read I didn't even know. But apparently a lot of people didn't know that they were taping Raw after Raw. Because people were starting to leave the arena as the live Raw ended. People were starting to leave.
They smart to get back on the mic and go, hey, come back. You got a free 3 hours.
This is a 6-hour show tonight, people.
Hey, come back. Hey, what do you mean you don't want to be out till 1 o'clock in the damn morning? Get your ass back to that seat.
You get to.
We'll
give you a free cup.
Talk about people leaving early. Talk about people leaving early and not even showing up at all. I like SmackDown this week. How they just kind of accepted it, and they showed the half of the arena where nobody was sitting. Like in the front row, there's huge gaps of seats between people. It was so bad. But another thing on Raw that I really want to touch on right quick is Dean Ambrose. I really like that a heel did an open challenge for the title.
That's true. Now, is he going to do it more often? I doubt it. I think it's just to try to dig under the skin of Seth, which obviously worked. But I like the fact that, again, we're seeing the classic heel style of, I told you all this is what I was going to do. I told you how he was going to slip up. I was right. I deserve your praise. You all deserve to know the truth. And I'm not done. I'm going to keep exposing him and basically burying him into the ground. That's classic heel right there. That's old school heel. And the fact that Dean's embracing that, I love it. So, I mean, I will definitely say that when it comes to SmackDown.
It seems to be quite a coincidence that the Intercontinental title ends up around the waist of a lot of heels.
You know, it just seems like a really interesting statistic there. I mean, I don't know.
I don't have the actual numbers, but I'm sure it's a pretty high percentage.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I mean, because when I sit there and think about Intercontinental Championship, 9 times out of 10, my brain goes right away to a heel.
Well,
because
really
those are the ones. Those are the ones that really make it shine. Well, not even the modern ones, but it's like Mr. Perfect.
Goldust.
Yeah.
He had his run with it. Roddy Piper.
Rick Rude.
Oh, Hot Rod. Yeah, Rick Rude easily.
Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah. Like,
Honky Tonk.
Man.
Santino Marella.
Oh, yeah.
Santino.
Santino was never really a heel.
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn did a great job as a heel with it.
Yeah.
Even though people still loved and adored him, he was trying to go heel with it. I mean, I'm trying to think here.
The Rock.
Rock had it. Razor,
yeah.
You know, and Razor always, no matter what, he was
when
always
Stone Cold
the heel.
chucked it off the bridge.
Yeah.
Oh man, I forgot all about that.
That's
Oh.
actually one of the episodes when I was doing my little boycott of Raw, watching the Attitude Era Raw.
He was ordered to surrender it to the Rock, so he threw it over the bridge.
I remember that now. That was
Because he
classic.
threw the air tank.
Yeah, he's like, you're gonna need the air tank, the snorkel, some little fin burst.
Yeah, that's true.
You bring up how Razor Ramon was like always the heel in his matches. I remember I watched an episode of In Your House.
Oh man, In Your House.
And Razor Ramon actually won the Intercontinental title as a face.
What?
Really?
From Dean Douglas. Dean Douglas was handed the title. Shawn Michaels had to relinquish the title due to injury. It was just handed to Dean Douglas, and Razor Ramon said, I'm going to beat you for that, and beat him for that as a face.
I did not remember that. Well played, good sir. I tip my hat to you.
Ooh, I got the hat too.
Don't you feel special?
I do.
You know, but we're talking a lot about here about Raw, but SmackDown had some shaking up of its own. I mean, it sat there with...
Yeah, the McMahons appeared there too.
Right?
Vince McMahon showed up on SmackDown for the first time in how long?
And, I mean, they started out with the whole thing of, you know, Becky and Charlotte griping and complaining because they got screwed out of the match for the championship, which, fair enough. I'll say fair enough. But I love that right away those two women were like, I want a piece of Ronda now. Well, first off, Natalia goes first. Or Natalia, rather, goes first. Then, I think it should be... I don't want it to be a triple threat. I'm tired of triple threats.
Fatal 4-way.
I like what you're thinking. Even though I don't like those...
Just put all 4 of them in the match and let them go.
I usually don't like those big type of matches, but I think it'd be kind of neat. And what I would like to see is the same thing that we talked about during TLC. When Ronda was walking out, we were all like, wouldn't it be something if she not only did after she shoved them off, she climbed up that ladder and took the title for herself? And she's like, I got both of them. What now?
That's what I was expecting.
I wanted to see that because that would be a really neat twist.
But it probably would have been invalidated since she wasn't officially part of the match.
True, but think about the storyline you could build with that. I'm the baddest in the planet, and I'm so bad I took that title too, and I don't care what Stephanie or anybody else has to say.
Hell, have her come out on Raw and SmackDown. They try to take it from her, and she just beats the hell out of security guards and walks away.
I mean,
with
she
it.
already is very much embodying the female version of Stone Cold to Stephanie. Why not do that? It would make a really
it's more
big...
Stone Cold Piper mix.
It is, but I'm still saying it would be an interesting angle. The McMahon's going, you can't do that. I have it in my hands, don't I? It would be cool. But so I mean, I don't know. I do want to see what they're going to go and do when it comes to Ronda and Becky and Charlotte. If they do a triple threat, it doesn't seem right because they need, like you said, if they're going to do it, they need to do a fatal 4-way. So there's 2 Raw, 2 SmackDown. That would make more sense. Just who on Raw, I don't know.
What's on second? Oh, sorry.
What's on third?
You said who is on Raw?
Oh, okay, you're doing
What's
that.
on second?
Well, no,
What's on third?
What I'm proposing is a fatal 4-way to determine who goes after Asuka. You put Ronda and Natalya in there against Charlotte and Becky.
That would be interesting too.
Winner goes
well
against
played.
Asuka.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I think though it would be if they did fail forward because everybody wants a piece of Ronda. Have Becky and Charlotte invade this Raw episode coming out on air. And then they're like, okay, enough's enough. All four of you get to go at it. Then see how that plays out. And maybe during that whole time, something with Asuka comes up, because that would be interesting as well. But I don't know. That's going to be kind of interesting. You know, and honestly, there was... I really wasn't impressed too much with SmackDown this week. I mean, I thought it was kind of funny. Morbid, but funny. With Samoa Joe not really apologizing but trying to do an intervention. It was one of those, like, really? We're still going down this rabbit hole? But, you know, I think that they're doing it well enough that it's not getting too bad. Like, where it was, AJ, I'm at your house.
I'll be your daddy.
Yeah, that was... Ugh.
That was, oh my lord, why are you not having a match right now?
It was more of a, oh my gosh.
Why are you not even in the same state that SmackDown's in right now?
Why do we not have police getting involved in this? Because this has really crossed a lot of lines.
If my biggest rival went to my house and was ringing the doorbell, telling my wife and kid that he was going to be their new daddy,
would you be pulling a Pillman?
Yeah.
I kind of don't blame you there. I mean, you know, besides that, there was, you know, the whole thing about Daniel Bryan losing in that tag match. I don't really know how I feel about that whole thing. I know they're trying to hype up the, you know, 205 competitor defeated Daniel Bryan.
Oh, no. They announced this week on SmackDown, Mustafa Ali is officially part of the SmackDown roster now.
Well, yeah, but he's also he's still going to have some association with 205 because he still fits the category.
Hell if I know.
Well,
he's probably
when
206
went
now.
to 205, he was going back and forth between shows.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So Mustafa could still do the same thing.
Yeah, but that was when they were still showing the cruiserweights on Raw too.
I mean, the thing is, they're still... Mustafa still fits that category, so he could go back and forth. But I mean, that's what I'm trying to say is this up and coming star who looked up to Daniel Bryan, that was part of he was part of the 205 roster, actually got a win over Daniel Bryan. Oh my gosh! Okay, build off of it, because right now I don't see how it's such a big deal. If it was singles, maybe.
Yeah, singles and tag.
Because then when it's singles, it's like, okay, you just got a big notch up that ladder to be in the next one in line to go after the title. But when it's tag, there are so many different variables that you can't really give the guy full credit. I'm sorry,
Right.
no.
I'll tell you my thoughts on good old Mustafa Ali.
Yes?
I'm very proud to see that a former competitor from Central Illinois has just defeated the WWE champion.
You know, I will not take anything away from him. He is an incredible competitor from Central Illinois. I mean, I've never tried to be biased about location, but it's kind of hard not to. I mean, look at Roscoe. I mean,
Yeah.
I watch his stuff all the time, and it's like, he's one of our boys that, you know, he was trained and brought up in PWA. I got to know him on a very personal level, and I'm like, he was one of the people I told, among a small handful of other people, I was like, dude, you're going to get called up one day. You keep doing what you're doing, you're going to get called up. And where is he now? He's like just small steps away from us seeing him on NXT one day. I guarantee it.
Or even just in a
Booker
dark
needs to
match
make a
on
call.
Raw.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree. Booker needs to make that call saying, you guys need this kid. You saw what happened when I told you needed Ember Moon. You need this kid too. And I mean, I truly believe Roscoe's got it.
I mean, from that point on, I'll always remember seeing Roscoe wrestle in Auburn in front of the old academy.
Yeah.
In front of 25 people.
He's got
To
a
now,
heart for it.
he's wrestling in an arena with 16,000 on Raw.
And he's got such an incredible heart for it. I mean, I really do believe that he is going to get that opportunity. There's others that I'm still rooting for to get that opportunity from our local area because they have that heart, they have that drive. They are people that I've seen with my own two eyes be first one in and usually one of the last ones out. And it's like, these are the type of people that you know are meant to go places. So it's nice. I don't try to be that biased all the time because it's just not how I like to be. But you brought up a good part about Mustafa there, so I had to bring that little tangent in there. So, who knows? I mean, anything's possible with that. You can do it this time if you really wanted to.
Indeed.
Hey, he did it!
I feel special. It's a super special night.
Yes. So, besides that, I really don't know if there's anything else to really be too excited about when it came to the WWE. I mean, NXT was a pretty good show, in my opinion.
My guy Bo Dallas was in a match. Hell yeah.
BT, go. Yeah, I do like Bo Dallas. When he's this type of Bo Dallas. When he was the Mr. Bo Leave, it got
That was
quick.
my favorite.
Yeah, see, that got
with
quick.
the white tights.
I don't believe you're talking about this shit.
I remember he came out on Raw with the Bo leaving Bo sign, and I was literally marking out. I looked at my mom. I was like, "Hey, that's Bo Dallas. That's my guy right there."
That's funny. But I mean, honestly, Bo is like his brother, like his father. He's a good competitor.
Where is his brother?
Nobody knows.
His brother was at Starrcade.
Yeah. I
And
don't
then
know.
just kind of left.
But I mean, he comes from a good lineage. He really does. So, I mean, I'm glad to see them using him in a way that compliments him. I mean, yes, it's dorky. Yes, it's cheesy.
Well, he should.
But
some of his father's gimmicks were dorky and cheesy
exactly.
too.
I mean,
IRS.
Yes.
But I mean, I'm just saying, the whole thing is, it's dorky and cheesy, but he embraces it. And think about some of the other great names that we've had that have had really terrible gimmicks and embraced them. I mean, look at, Dusty Rhodes. They gave him the polka dotted outfit to mock him, and what did he do? He owned it to a point where it became iconic. Goldust, from what I understand, originally the Goldust gimmick was, again, a mockery, and what did he do? He owned it to where now everybody knows Goldust. I mean, it's nice to see stuff like that when people know how to take a.
Notice you didn't mention Stardust there.
I did it because
Let's just
I
all be
remember Miss
thankful.
Dashing Cody.
I didn't bring up Stardust only because you could tell he was not happy in that line. And honestly, unlike his brother, Cody really played great when it was just Cody. When he was able to be himself, he was incredible. His character was great. His gimmick was great. He really knew how to make it great. And that's why I'm like, not going to be just Stardust. But who knows?
You brought up Goldust, however,
Mm-hmm.
and how he owned that gimmick in WWE.
Yeah.
Well, in between runs, remember, he went to WCW, and he wanted to do his absolute best to own that gimmick. And, well, that lasted a night. Ladies and gentlemen, they gave me this crap and told me to come out and call myself Seven.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't his
Don't
first
forget
run in
Black
WCW.
Rain.
I never said that. I'm just saying Seven.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't forget Black Rain.
Yeah.
The anti-Goldust.
We're talking about terrible
Yeah.
gimmicks.
This man has gone through a lot of it.
Terrorizing. We can talk about.
The Goblin.
Well, what about Vinny Vegas and the Diamond Stud?
Exactly.
Oh man, Diamond Stud. I forgot all about Diamond Stud.
I was trying to think of it, and I knew it was Diamond.
The Diamond Stud.
There's been a lot of terrible. And oh my god, that's one thing that.
What about
the
Shockmaster?
Okay, that's what we're gonna have to do one of these times as a bonus thing. We're gonna have to all four sit down and write down a list of terrible gimmicks, and just for extra episode to put on YouTube one day.
Top 10 terrible
Top 10
gimmicks.
terrible gimmicks. Yep.
I think Shockmaster's going to be at the top.
There's been a few that's been
We
pretty.
didn't.
pretty
We're
bad.
gonna put you out there in a stormtrooper helmet full of glitter,
What about-
And we're gonna just have you bust through a wall,
and you're gonna trip on the bottom beam on your way through.
as if this wasn't bad enough. You're gonna screw it up.
And the helmet's gonna fly off.
You're gonna ruin it,
You know
and
what's-
people are gonna see that you were tugboat.
And
Hey,
then
thank you.
And then they'll never hear of this again.
Oh no! They heard.
If it goes bad, trust me, nobody will remember.
And guess what?
Don't forget about Mantar. Remember, he's not a man.
Oh no.
He wasn't a minotaur.
If we're gonna go there.
He was man.
If we're gonna go there, how about Bastion Booger?
Gobbledygook.
How about the wizard?
Oh,
yeah.
Oz?
Oz,
Did you know a Gobbledygooker was originally supposed to be the Undertaker?
Really?
Yeah, Mark Calloway was supposed to be in that suit.
Wow. Then they ended up getting like Chavo Classic.
Ended up being like Eddie Guerrero's brother, I think it was.
Yeah, Chavo Classic.
Speaking of Chavo, I'll more so talking about Junior here. I'll never forget the run with Pepe.
Kerwin White.
When he went nuts, shaved his own head, and then started having Pepe around all the time. That was one of my favorite WCW gimmicks. I don't know why, but it just
wasn't even WCW, was it?
Yeah, it started in WCW with Pepe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because Eddie was like, "What is wrong with you?"
It was like one of those, the horse head on the stick.
Yeah.
And he would ride it down.
Come on, Pepe! And then he'd put Pepe at the ring post, and then during the match, like Al Snow would do with Head, Chavo would go and consult Pepe for guidance.
We don't even have to stay in WCW. How about Naked Midian?
God.
Oh, it was bad. It was bad. There were some bad times in the Attitude Era.
But for every bad time, there was 3 really, really, really
there was about
times.
6 or 7 fantastic times.
Like last night, after I finished watching my episode of NXT, I actually sat down and watched an episode of ECW Hardcore TV.
ECW.
Where they showed the footage of Steve Corino invading the Limp Bizkit concert in Peoria.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this was like... The episode aired in December of 99, 2000?
Sounds about right.
Yeah. It was... Oh, my God.
That's crazy stuff right there.
I mean, if you're talking about, legendary stuff, I've even went on YouTube and just watched Juggalo Championship Wrestling, Legends and Icons. Yeah. Where the opening match was... It was in 2011. Opening match was a steel cage match between Greg Valentine and Tito Santana.
Now, that's a match that would have been really great about 30 years ago.
Yeah.
30 years before it happened, yeah. No, it was... I don't even...
Nothing...
I think Greg Valentine bladed in the middle of it. And it was terrible.
I mean, but...
And this is all fun to me because, in fact, like I said, in other times, it's like I said... For me being the regular show running host, this is my last one. But as I've said to you guys the last week, I'm still going to be in the background. These guys are going to be your front runners. They're going to be doing the whole stuff for you guys. But I'm going to still be in the background. And that's why I like hearing these talks. Because like I said for the terrible gimmicks, now I have even more ideas that we're going to have a little bonus stuff for you guys down the road of top 10 this, top 10 that. And I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun to make that stuff work. So more than likely, I'll still make my presence known here and there. But honestly, we're running out of time here, but I want to say, you guys have 3 great people who are going to take care of the show. They're going to be in good hands with these guys, even with, Junior here. Hey, you're allowed to be called that. How old are you?
For another, 2 weeks.
How old are you again?
17.
You're still the youngest in this room, and that's always going to be the case.
Yeah.
I don't care. 2 weeks, I'll be an adult. You can't call me kid.
Oh, I'll call you kid all I want. I mean, let's face it. For right now, as of today, you double your age, and you have my age, okay? So you're going to be Junior.
Damn. Yeah, and I'm more than twice your age, so...
Damn.
Wait till they start calling you Sport.
Squirt. Maybe that's what I should do from now on. When I become a special guest, how's it going, Sport?
Champ.
How you feeling, Champ? How's the show been treating you, slugger?
Well, one of our ring crew guys, Terry, he showed up, and I opened up the storage unit before his show. It's like, hey, what's up, Sparkplug?
Sparkplug? Sparkplug?
What's up, Terry? It's my favorite part of a show day is seeing Terry.
Sparkplug. I'm going to remember Sparkplug. This is good.
My favorite part of a show day is seeing Terry and the many, many fantastic things he says.
What we're going to have is a year or 2 from now, the top 10 nicknames given to Rob Leach.
My favorite play on my actual nickname, the Analyst, has to come from KC Jackson. Anal ease. He said in a comment. He said in the comment section one time. He was like, "That sounds like a sexual lubricant. Anal ease."
That's kind of a gosh.
Oh jeez.
And every time I see him now, like at least for a while, he would come up to me, go to shake my hand. He'd be like, "What's up, Anal ease?" I was like, "What's up, Casey?" And
you gotta love it. You
right
gotta
there.
love it.
Love KC, dude.
He's a good guy. I mean, all things said, you know, I mean, we've had him here as a guest plenty of times, and before, during, and after the show, I mean, the guy's just freaking awesome. All those guys are freaking awesome, really. I mean, they've been a blast. And that's one thing I'm going to let you guys know. That's what we're working on. You'll still probably have a few shows like this. But I talked to these guys. We're looking at a big goal for 2019 is to get more guests, more exposure, get that thing. Because not only for the new and upcoming stars, but there's a lot of seasoned veterans that have so many great stories. I mean, we've already had a little bit of experience with that with Brian Ely. Mm-hmm. What's not to say, you know, down the road we may get lucky and get Rip Mystic. Or like you and I have talked about, Eric, we've talked about even possibly getting like 2 or 3 people from the old 3CW days, like the owners, and just let them run with it and talk about how it was back then in the 3CW days. That was before your time.
Yeah, from what I hear, some of those stories are kind of
explicit. We'll be careful with them.
I've heard small snippets of those stories.
We'll be careful with some of them.
Well, there's certain ones that certain people can tell that keeps it, you know, just right on that border.
You know, we can dance on that edge. Just to stop crossing too hard.
Goes this way on the border.
Yeah, we gotta be careful with that.
Maybe even go as far as New Midwest. You know?
Yeah, I would be all for that.
I know how to get a hold of Sage Ramsey. I don't necessarily know how to get a hold of him, but I know where to find Justin McIntyre.
Well, and that's my point. Is for 2019 and hopefully onward, that's what we've all been talking about. Is these guys have better connections with these guys. I mean, I know how to get a hold of a few of them because I've gotten to know them really well. But these guys, they know how to get a hold of these guys. We're going to get more connections. We're going to get you guys a lot of great content, not only for people who are up and coming or who are needing that exposure because they're still active, but even the ones who have retired that have great stories to share. I mean, this is going to become one hell of a sleeper hold from here on out. And that's why I said I have complete confidence in these 3 men. So that's what I'm thinking. I think they can agree with me on that, as well as the simple fact of, like I said, we'll have extra stuff like the top 10s that we'll upload here and there because those will be great things that all 4 of us will work on behind the scenes. I mean, heck, they're bringing up things that I even forgot about until they said it. It's like, holy crap, those were hilarious gimmicks or they were hilarious moments that happened back in the day. So you never know what's going to happen.
That's the glorious part of it. Whether we have a script or not, we find stuff to roll with.
Well, and that's kind of like my best way of explaining our way we even run the show. I mean, let's be transparent here. Before the show starts, usually we'll go, okay, this is how we're going to go. We're going to go from here to here to here. Like today it was, okay.
And sometimes that goes out the door.
Oh, yeah. There's times it easily goes out the door. But like today, I was like, all right, when the show starts, Rob, you're going to do an introduction. I'm going to interrupt you. But then we're going to go from local stuff, Eric, and then we'll talk about WWE. No big deal. We'll make it happen. And there's times where that's exactly how it goes. There's times it goes completely out the window. But we never really go, okay, this is exactly what we're going to say, exactly what we're going to do. We just basically, like a wrestling match, we kind of have an outline, but from that point on, when the show starts, we kind of becomes a shoot.
We call it as it goes.
Exactly. And I think that works beautifully for us. But I think it's going to work even more beautifully as we have guests because, like I said, they have stories to share. I mean, look at Liplock. He's fresh, he's new, he's young. But he had some great stories to share as well. Mm-hmm. So you never know what's going to happen. And it's not just going to be PWA. We're going to see about, CIPW. We're going to see about, heck, anybody in the central Illinois area. I mean, there's tons of different companies. There's tons of different talent. I could sit here and probably rattle off a whole bunch of talent, but we are, 3 minutes away from closing up?
Yeah.
So that's why this guy will be your new front runner. That's why I had to give him a hard time today because, it's the last time I'm going to give him a hard time before he actually does get to say that opening almost every single time. You know, Jason, he runs the electronics. He knows how to do all that stuff and make it great. Also, you know, he's a great source of wisdom for, you know, fun facts about history. And Eric, he's been in the independent scene longer than I have, as well as he knows a lot more inside scoop on things because he just finds out things like that. So, like I said, you've got three great guys here. I'm talking too fast for my own brain. So, yeah, hopefully you guys really enjoy what's to come because I think it's going to become phenomenal.
And actually, I just thought of something that I should have covered during.
Go for it, man. We still got time.
That actually this year for the Wrestle Kingdom show.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Access, you know, they're the channel that shows New Japan stuff in the States. They've always shown Wrestle Kingdom week, 2 weeks, sometimes even 3 weeks after the fact. This year is going to be the first year that they're going to air it the same day.
Oh,
so
wow.
if you don't have the ability to get up at 2-3 o'clock in the morning to watch a show,
That's why they created DVR.
yeah, but I like to watch it live. I'm just a sucker like that. But yeah, for this year, it's going to be the first time they're actually going to air it the same day, just later in the evening. So even though I'm going to be up at 2 in the morning to 2 o'clock in the morning to watch the whole thing as it goes down, because it's just that feeling, you know, you want to watch the show live.
Yeah.
So you can get that, you know, the first impression. But you'll be able to watch it, you know, much later in the day on Access the same day.
Yeah, and that's actually going to be really good for them. I think it's going to work out just right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually, for the last time, out of material. I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to say or before we have Rob here give one last reminder of the upcoming show.
The upcoming show. Well, does anyone else have anything to say? Oh, all right. In like 2 weeks, Saturday, January 5th. What?
Did you just get stuck?
No.
Okay, just want to make sure.
I think it's 2 weeks.
Okay.
In 2 weeks, January 5th, 2019, PWA will present Blood, Sweat, and Tears live from the 8th Street Gym, 1401 North 8th Street, right here in Springfield, Illinois. Doors open 6:30 p.m., showtime 7 o'clock. Adults are $12, kids 6 to 12 are $10, kids 5 and under are always free. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see Attitude Inc. defend the PWA Tag Team Championship against Jimmy Carrot and Truck Thompson. Also appearing Brian Ely, Sweet Street, Harley, Sierra, and so many more names such as Casey Jackson and Tom Marston, because I wasn't finished with my list, but now I am. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a lot of fun. Blood, Sweat, and Tears, January 5th. Be there. Don't miss it.
Indeed.
Always.
I just love the whole hand gesture thing. You know, it's like this. I know you're just gonna be like. All right, guys. This is the priest from the sleeper hole with my co-host, and for the last time as the showrunner and frontrunner, I say good night, and then we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Indeed.